Okay, while the rice is on the stove, on low, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our enchilada sauce, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, what do we need to do?
Okay, we have the first 5 ingredients here. We have the chili powder, the flour, the cocoa, the garlic salt, and the cumin.
Cocoa.
Yes, baking cocoa.
Okay.
Gives it that rich flavor, and it makes the sauce look darker.
Ah, nice.
So if you want to go ahead and
Okay, so we just put these all in a bowl. How much cumin do we need?
half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon.
That
The
is the
chili powder.
We have 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons of the flour.
Does it matter what kind?
No, really, just flour.
So that's kind of a thickener anyway. All right. 1 teaspoon of baking cocoa. And
we have
last but not least,
a half a teaspoon of garlic salt.
of garlic salt. Okay.
Now you're gonna just mix those all together.
Mix these all together. Get it kind of evenly mixed.
We're gonna add a half a cup of water. Just stir it all up.
All right.
And we're gonna take that to the stove.
Okay. So we've mixed up all our dry ingredients. We added half a cup of water. It's made this nice,
Sorry.
kind of a little bit of a runny paste. And
Pour it in the pan.
Pour
and
it in the
hopefully
pan.
it'll bubble up.
okay.
And there's another spoon over there you can stir it with.
All right. Have to start adding water so it doesn't scorch. Little at a time, or
Yes,
go ahead and get it
little
all?
at a time and
All
stir.
Stir.
We're gonna add a total of 3 cups of water.
Total of 3 cups. Okay. And you want to add a little at a time, otherwise you're just gonna raft up all of the sauce and you're gonna just chase lumps around in a circle. So add a little at a time. Okay, we brought this up to a boil.
Correct.
Now
We're gonna let it simmer for like 10 minutes.
we're gonna let it simmer. So we turn the heat down, cover it, let it simmer for 10 minutes.
Yes.
And then do we have to stir it?
After it's been, we occasionally do have to stir it, so
Okay, so
it will
just
not
every now
stick
and
on
then.
the bottom.
Gotcha.
Correct.
All
Yes.
right.
Okay, now we're ready to add our tomato sauce.
Add our tomato sauce. So we've let this simmer for about 10 minutes. And then we're gonna use a small can of tomato sauce,
Correct.
the whole
8
thing?
ounces, yep.
All right.
The whole thing.
Just pour that
And
in.
we just stir it up.
All right. And stir that up.
And then we just let that simmer 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Okay, our timer for our rice just went off. So,
Are you ready?
the moment of truth. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. That smells good. So what do you think? How's it look?
It looks perfect.
All right. Okay, Diana, walk me through assembling an enchilada.
Okay, we're first going to start with our corn tortilla. We're going to take our corn tortilla over to the stove and dip it in hot oil.
Hot oil, all right.
And then we're going to layer it on some wax paper,
Okay,
just so that we can do them like all at once.
all right.
Then we're going to bring them back over here and we're going to put them in a bath of our enchilada sauce.
Enchilada sauce, we'll put a little in there,
Correct.
coat them up.
And we're going to take our onions and then cheese and fill them and roll them.
Roll them up
And then we're going to put the seam side down into our casserole dish.
in our casserole dish.
And then we'll put them in the oven to bake.
Okay, great. Well, I notice we have some onions and some butter here. So tell us your secret shortcut.
That is exactly what it is. It's the shortcut. Rather than sauteing the onion on the stove, I take like a tablespoon of butter and put it in with the onions and cover them up and put them in the microwave starting at 30 seconds.
Okay,
And then I check them. And if they start to look translucent, I'll stir them up and put them back in for maybe another 15, 20 seconds.
all right. So we're not trying to cook them all the way down.
Correct.
And you're talking 30, 45 seconds?
At the most.
That beats 5 or 10 minutes on the stove and making a big mess.
Yes.
So should I go ahead and
Sure.
get her going?
Perfect.
That about enough?
Perfect. So we just want to
Okay.
cover them up so that they don't, butter has a tendency to spatter.
Ah,
And this is microwavable, so
okay.
we're just going to cover those up just lightly.
All right,
And then
and I'll go do that.
30 seconds.
Okay, we've got a skillet on medium heat.
Correct.
We're gonna add about a half a cup of oil. And then we're gonna put the corn tortillas in the jacuzzi.
Correct.
All right.
We're going to give them a bath. We're going to just wait till this heats up just a little bit. Put all these tortillas in. This makes them soft.
Okay. So you just dip them in one at a time.
Yes.
And about how long per side?
Just so that they start bubbling like that.
Oh, look.
And then we don't want to overcook them. We just want to soften them up like that.
Okay. And I'll grab the plate with the waxed paper.
Okay, and that's just about
So
right.
I can put the first one on the
And
plate.
we'll just kind of strain it a little bit.
So it only takes a few seconds.
Correct.
All right. Okay, we've got all of these lightly sauteed very quickly in oil. And this is our last one. So this helps make them pliable
Yes.
so they don't break when you roll them.
Correct.
Okay. All right, we've got all our pieces and parts ready.
Yes. Now
So-
we need to take the sauce off the stove.
Grab the sauce. Some
And-
enchilada sauce.
We're going to put a little bit in the bottom of the casserole dish.
All right.
Just enough to coat it so that our corn tortillas don't stick.
So you don't want a lake. You just
No, we don't want to lake.
kind of want to.
Just keep them soft.
There we go. Is that enough?
Oh, probably just a tiny bit
Little more.
Just a little bit. Good.
Okay.
And then we're going to need some in our bath
Okay.
so that we can,
Try not to make too much of a mess here.
it's hot. I understand.
Tell me when you think we have enough.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yes. Okay, and
Okay.
we're just going to turn that to the stove.
All right.
So our tortillas are ready. We have the onions that we're going to use as the filling, and we're going to also use a mixture of Colby Jack and Monterey Jack cheeses.
Okay.
So the tortillas have to go into the bath, and then in the corner of the tortilla, we're going to add a little bit of onions and cheese and roll them and put the same side down in the casserole dish.
Okay. Why don't you show me the first one,
Okay.
and I'll copy you.
Just goes. It's going to be hot. We're just going to just gently give it a good bath.
All right.
I'll just move this plate a little bit closer. It's going to be a little messy, but
Okay.
I'm going to take a little bit of onion. We're going to like a dozen of these to do. So
Okay. So don't get too carried away.
yeah, and then we're just going to do a handful of cheese, and then we're going to roll them up like that, and then it goes into the casserole
In the
dish,
casserole dish. And let me scoot this over.
and like that.
All right. Looks pretty simple. And then
Okay.
you just get the assembly line going
There
and
we
make
go.
a whole bunch of these.
That's it.
All right, let me try one here.
Okay.
Give them a little dip in the bath here. Are they ready?
Well, we're going to add some more enchilada sauce to the top, and
All
we're
right.
going to put some cheese on it, and then we're going to bake them in the oven for like 10 minutes,
10 minutes in the oven at what temperature?
about 350.
350. All right.
Okay.
You want to hit it with that? And I'll hit it with
Sure.
this.
Okay, let's see here. We're just going to try and get a nice, even.
Okay, so you're not putting tons on there. You don't want them swimming.
No, we don't want them swimming. We just want them to be nice and flavorful.
Okay.
So that should do it.
All right. And then how much cheese should I put on the top?
Just cover with cheese.
Cover it up. All right. Give it the old dairy hair transplant. Tell me when it looks good. A little
A
more?
little bit more. Because we don't want the tortillas to brown.
Ah, so this is
So it kind of helps protect
a
them.
little bit of a protective layer as
Yes.
well. All right, you got little ends sticking out over here.
There we
One
go.
right there, and a little
Perfect.
spot there.
Looks
And
good.
make sure I get plenty on the table. And now it's ready to go in the oven.
It's ready to go in the oven.
About 10
About
minutes.
10 minutes, and the
350.
cheese will get nice and bubbly.
Ooh, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, the timer went off, so I'm going in. Oh, wow. That smells good. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's pretty hot, too. Wow, everything looks great. Our enchiladas are out of the oven. We've got our wonderful Mexican rice. We've got our pico de gallo.
Yes.
And we've got a little lettuce here, so why don't we go ahead and start to plate up our wonderful authentic Mexican dish.
Sounds good.
Great. So just a couple of these.
Sure.
And the cheese is all nice and melty. Let me see if I can just get one at a time so I don't make a huge mess.
Okay.
Gotta have two. I mean, these are too good to pass up. Okay. And then normally you'd serve it with a little scoop, a little side of rice.
Correct.
So let me get a little of this. There we are. And I'll let you do those too.
Okay. And we have the pico de gallo. Nice big helping of that.
There we are.
And some fresh lettuce.
Some fresh lettuce. Wonderful. Well, Diana, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful recipes with us. These are really incredible. I can't wait to have a little bit of that. And if you've got a great recipe you'd like to share with us, check us out on the website. It's yourplatesormine.net. Be sure to send us an email, and who knows, we may come cook with you. Once again, thank you so much. And how do you say yummy in Spanish?
Delicioso.
Delicioso.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Your plates or mine?
Mis platos o sus platos.
So what is it?
Diana Guzman.
Guzman.
Yes.
Guzman.
Uh-huh.
Mis platos or mus platos? Mis platos or shoes platos? Mis platos or sus platos?
Very good, David.
Hey, I got it. I'm starting over, totally lost. Okay.